DeAndre Ayton has officially been offered a contract with the Indiana Pacers, and the Phoenix Suns have 48 hours to match the contract. Now, the contract doesn't become official until midnight tonight, so a sign and trade could still be worked out. This is a huge domino, and this is actually something that hugely could benefit the Lakers if this deal goes through. Now, there is a lot of things that still need to happen in order for this to really benefit the Lakers, and primarily DeAndre Ayton has to become an Indiana Pacer. If the Suns match, then that basically rules all of that out. But if the Suns decide, hey, let's not match, let's just let him go to the Indiana Pacers, then they have Ayton, and thus Myles Turner becomes extremely expendable. Now, obviously, the Lakers, their grand prize is to go get Kyrie Irving. And this could affect the Kyrie Irving trade as well, because if Ayton does end up going to the Indiana Pacers, well, then that basically rules out the Phoenix Suns. Not entirely, but it makes it very difficult to make a trade to go get Kevin Durant. And if Kevin Durant stays, does the Brooklyn Nets decide, hey, you know what? Let's just keep Kyrie Irving and ride it out for the year and see what happens. And then if he wants to leave and go sign with the Lakers, he can go leave and sign with the Lakers. And so the Lakers might not be able to acquire Kyrie Irving. Now, it's still very likely that the Nets are just done with Kyrie, and Kyrie still continues to force his way to the Lakers, and they end up making the trade regardless, which would be the huge prize for the Lakers, right? To get Kyrie Irving, have Kyrie Irving become a Laker. That's what they want. But let's assume that the Kyrie Irving trade is off the table, right? Nobody can meet the asking price of Kevin Durant, so they decide to keep Kevin Durant, and they say, hey, let's work it out. Kyrie says, okay, fine, I'll give you 1 year, and then I'll go sign with the Lakers. The Lakers' plan B all along has been Myles Turner and Buddy Hield. And the reason this is huge and benefits the Lakers is because if DeAndre Ayton goes to the Pacers, then Myles Turner becomes immediately expendable, right? And they need to make a deal. And there was even a report that came out from Ashton that stated that the Pacers have a deal in place for Myles Turner and Buddy Hield. Now, this would all take days to unfold and develop if this was the case. But what if that trade is to the Los Angeles Lakers, right? That they have a deal worked out, and it turns out that it's Myles Turner and Buddy Hield to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers end up giving up the draft pick, stuff like that. Myles Turner has said that he'd be willing to play for the Lakers. Buddy Hield is obviously that, white whale that they should have gotten, but they didn't get, and now they want it. The other thing is that even if it doesn't work out with Myles Turner, and let's say they sign DeAndre Ayton and they want to trade Turner elsewhere, the Pacers still have to clear just shy of $5 million off their books. So they could end up trading Buddy Hield to the Lakers regardless, just to clear that cap space. Maybe you do a deal for like a first and like maybe THT for Buddy Hield, and that way you clear, basically $7 million, $6 million off your books. And then that way, now you can go sign DeAndre Ayton because they have to clear cap. So Buddy Hield could, at the very least, be traded to the Lakers, which the Lakers wanted to trade for even if they get Kyrie. So the possibility of them getting Buddy Hield just shot up tremendously. And not only that, but the possibility of them getting Myles Turner just shot up tremendously. And then you'd be able to, if depending on how this season shapes up, which if you get Buddy Hield and you get Myles Turner, they're at least competitive. I don't know if it makes you a full-fledged contender like Kyrie would, but it gets you pretty close. And then the beauty is Myles Turner is a free agent, so you can re-sign him, you can extend him, whatever. The Lakers have the cap space, but you could still sign Kyrie next season, right? So you could end up having a team, which sounds ridiculous, but it is possible, of Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Myles Turner, and Buddy Hield. That is insane to think about that they could have for next season. And depending on how things shape up this season, what if the Lakers do win the championship? What if Anthony Davis becomes bubble Anthony Davis, LeBron James is that guy, you got Myles Turner, you got Buddy Hield, and they just make some crazy run once they get to the playoffs, they win the championship, and now you're adding Kyrie to that team? I mean, come on, that would be ridiculous. But it just made the plan B much more viable than it's ever been. Up until this point, it's just been conversation, just been talk. And again, I don't want people to get too excited and yes, we're getting Myles Turner and Buddy Hield now. There's still a lot of pieces that need to fall in place, right? DeAndre Ayton has to be a Indiana Pacers for this to work. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense for them to trade Myles Turner unless they plan on trading Myles Turner regardless. Maybe this deal still happens. But If the Phoenix Suns end up matching, well, then there goes that, huge jump in the probability. Do the Pacers ride out with Myles Turner for a year? What happens? There's still a lot of pieces that need to go in place. And it's still possible that a sign and trade is worked out, right? They have until midnight to put the pieces together. So I do expect various little small trades at the least to continue to pop up, because they can't sign Ayton to that contract tonight unless they move roughly $5 million. So they have to clear $5 million in cap space. So maybe the Buddy Hield trade happens today, but even if it's just kind of like a throwaway, like they just kind of clear a couple guys and give up like a couple second rounds or something like that to some team that's just like, oh, we'll take some free picks, right? That's a possibility. The other option is that, if they do a trade, sign and trade for Myles Turner to DeAndre Ayton, because Ayton's like, hey, I don't want to be a Sun. The Phoenix Suns, they don't want DeAndre Ayton, right? Might as well get what you can get. That still kind of takes them out of the trade for Kevin Durant, but it's better to get nothing than lose him. And you can't trade DeAndre Ayton until like January if he signs that offer sheet. So you're kind of stuck with him. What kind of Ayton are you going to get? Are you going to get an Ayton that bought in? Are you going to get an Ayton that just doesn't want to be there, that's sitting out and causing trouble and causing mayhem? And is like, no, I need you to trade me. You're going to trade me. Like, that could very well be the case. But nonetheless, Myles Turner, I think he's going somewhere. I think it's just a matter of time this year before he leaves. I think it'll either be a sign and trade between the Suns and the Indiana Pacers, or it'll be the trade between the Pacers and the Lakers. Or, if everything falls through with Ayton, they'll likely trade him somewhere else and just try to get something back. That doesn't mean that they'll trade him this offseason. I mean, they could wait till the trade deadline, especially if they're not making the playoffs or anything. Like if they're a team that's, say the 12th or 11th seed in the East, and, they're kind of, struggling, and it's like, okay, well, let's just trade Turner. We'll finish the rest of the year, and then we'll kind of just see what develops. That could be a real possibility as well. But I think we're seeing Myles Turner's last few days in an Indiana Pacers jersey, and I think it's very possible now that he could end up on the Los Angeles Lakers. But as always, this is a discussion, so I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think that this amplifies the Lakers' chances of getting Buddy Hield and Myles Turner? Myles Turner becomes expendable. They need to clear cap space to sign DeAndre Ayton. You do a trade for Myles Turner. There you go. You got it. You got it worked out. Even if we just, like I said, even if we just get Buddy Hield, right? If the Pacers do a trade for Buddy Hield for, like I said, say THT and maybe Win Gabriel, so that way, because THT makes like 9.5 this year, I think, and then you have Gabriel that's like, just under like $2 million. So, I mean, you could get there. My point is you could get there because you need to clear about $5 million. So maybe you do the Buddy Hield trade, and then that's a huge bonus. That's a huge benefit. And then you still have the assets and the pieces to go do a Kyrie Irving trade, and maybe you end up with both. That would be, like I said, that's the home run prize right there. But love to hear your thoughts and opinions, however you feel about it, down in the comment section below. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.